Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this is part 3. If you haven't gone back and watched part 1 and 2, go do it. But anyway, the third part is all about May and the month of May on my journey post Whipples operation. So the month of May was all about getting tests done and kind of getting back into some form of normality. So May was my 3-monthly test post-operation. And May was really all about being reborn and starting this rebirth process further as I started working more in my business, as I started this self-awareness journey, my TikTok channel, and just seeing this new perspective on life. In May, I sort of got to that point where I knew why this was happening to me, and I knew it was time to share my journey. So let's check out what May looked like, as the 3-month anniversary of my Whipples operation has just come up in June, and I'm here to share what the last 3 months look like. As I said, May was all about getting back into what was my new lifestyle. Of course, I was still working in my business, but it meant a lot more rest and a lot more slow movements for me. I was really honoring this stage of rebirth as I came out of hospital and back into my life. I started some new hobbies, which was creating this YouTube and TikToks. And yeah, I was still working and running my business, but it just looked a lot slower than usual. May was also about getting tests. So it was like my 6-week tests post coming out of hospital, and I saw my oncologist and got all the necessary tests done that I will take you through soon, because some of them were a little bit intense. And this was one of them, which is where I went to the hospital and got my PET scan and just hung out for half the day and read and got radiation pumped into my body, and that was about it. So I just wanted to take you through what was in that brown paper bag. So today I went to the pathology at the hospital and got my bloods done, and they also gave me a little gift to take home. After that, I went and got my CT scan, or my PET scan, whatever it's called thing. I just read and waited for a while. I was there for maybe 2.5-3 hours. It was fine. Bit of emotion come through to me because I was in hospital for the first time sort of since, and anyway. But as of tomorrow, I have to stop eating some certain foods, and as of Wednesday, I have to record my wee for 24 hours. I even get a funnel. I could probably even just leave it by my bed. I won't even have to go to the toilet. My last video didn't save, but this is what I have to avoid. And I have to return it on Thursday, and I think I have to do that I don't know, every time I get the test, which I guess, I'm not sure, maybe every 6 months, 12 months, but that is a big jug. I don't know. Probably won't keep you up to speed with how I feel that, because that's probably a little bit too much for social media, but interesting. I could probably update you verbally, but I start, because I've got to avoid those foods, so I start on Wednesday and then drop it off on Thursday. So fun times. Okay, so I started the jug today. You wouldn't believe the process of that. You wouldn't believe it if I try to even explain it. It's so ridiculous. The funnel is too big for the jug. You aren't allowed to wee directly into the jug, so you have to wee into something and pour it into the jug. I can't eat all those foods. I can't even begin to explain to you, as I said, how ridiculous it is. I was saying today that the whole saying, the things we do for our health, I just said to Leanne, like, I feel like this saying times 1,000 because the things we do. Anyway, it is worth it in the end, but the process is just... as I said, I'm lost for words. The news today, I dropped off my bucket at the hospital and I filmed some of it. I'm going to turn it into a TikTok, so I think I just need to share the TikTok. But if people had have known that I was walking from the car to the hospital or the outside of the apartment to the car park, knowing that I was holding my own wee, like, it blows my mind. People have no idea. And it's such a strange concept and I just can't get over it. Okay, in case you're like, why is she taking a jug of her own wee to the hospital? It was part of a series of tests that I had to get post-operation to monitor the neuroendocrine cancer. So I go and see the oncologist on May 26th, I think that's a Thursday, to get all the results and to see what the next action steps are. But yep, it was interesting, the whole concept. It keeps us alive, doesn't it? Keeps us guessing. But yeah, I will create a TikTok and share the experience. I was just walking with this paper bag with the jug in there, and people were playing in the park, and I just could not deal. So funny. Anyway, have a good night. Going on an adventure. What the fuck? Today was the day that I peed in a jug for 24 hours, all part of the monitoring of my neuroendocrine cancer. This is the jug, and here is my process of how I explain how it all works. Okay, so I started the jug today. You wouldn't believe the process of that. Like, you wouldn't believe it if I try to even explain it. It's so ridiculous. The funnel was too big for the jug. You aren't allowed to wee directly into the jug, so you have to wee into something and pour it into the jug. I can't eat all those foods. I can't even begin to explain to you, yeah, as I said, how ridiculous it is. So today I took my wee jug back to the hospital. This is how it all went down. There it is, ready to go, ready on its trip. Just a girl in her wee bucket walking down the stairs. People wouldn't even believe me if I told them that I was carrying a bottle of my wee to the car. The thing that gets me is those people in the park. If only they knew what I was carrying out to my car. Ready to go. I couldn't have it fall. I had to strap it in. And then it was an interesting trip from the car park into the hospital to deliver said care package. There she is. I celebrated with her. Morning. I'm so excited. I'm seeing Mum and Dad for the first time since I dropped them at the airport a month ago, and I was like not in a good way still. I had my tube in, I was still going to see the hospital in the home, so I can't wait. I think it's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for them to see how I'm going. So we're gonna have a nice little getaway. We're going down the coast to spend the weekend together, so I'm really excited. I feel emotional already, but I'm excited.
Seeing my parents for the first time since post-surgery.
Dreaming about the things that we could be.
So it's gonna be forever. You already know.
That's a real me when I'm in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
Is it too late now to say
I need a one dance? And then we start to dance, and I'm singing like, oh, I want something just like this.
Might be over now, but I feel it still. Duh.
I want you to be happier because I'm happy.
In May, I also drove the longest I'd driven since, longer than my operation, down to Mollymook to see my parents. And it was just so nice to see them. It was so amazing to see them and for them to see me healthy, which was, for me, incredible. And I just spent really nice time by the ocean and had a little getaway, which, I hadn't done much since my operation. So it was really, really nice to get out into nature, have some downtime with my parents, and just really absorb this new slower paced lifestyle. And just like that, I also said goodbye to my parents again before they headed back off to Victoria and I headed up to Sydney. And the plan is to see them very soon and connect with them again for a longer duration, which I will talk about in videos to come. It's packing time. I'm going on a new adventure. So I have to pack this up again. And last time I had zero energy when I was leaving Victoria. So I can't imagine me having much more energy to do it here. But I'm not leaving Sydney. I'm just leaving this suburb. And I'm leaving tomorrow. I haven't even started packing. Oh, it's amazing how much stuff you accumulate even though you come with 2 suitcases. Like, I don't know how it's all gonna fit, but here we are. So I want to share a little tip that I've just done for the packing. Okay, so we've got unlikely to wear, right? And likely to wear. Unlikely to wear, we backpack. Likely to wear, we pack because I'm literally just going to take them out of the case and put them in another wardrobe. So we've got unlikely to wear, ready. I also moved out of the current living situation I was in to an Airbnb in Bondi for 6 weeks before I headed back to Victoria. But it was nice to have some downtime and not live with anyone. But it was definitely an experience I'm sure I will share with you guys soon. But I think for me, May was all about the key focus of getting back into my normal or some form of normal routine and prioritizing my health, seeing doctors, seeing naturopaths, which I will talk about soon as well. And just really building this newfound life and lease on life. Happy Monday. Saw my surgeon today. It's been 3 months next week since my operation, and he's really impressed with how I'm coming along. He said the scar needs some sun, so get some sun on it to, I don't know, he said it'll help it just, the redness in it, I don't know, give it some vitamin D. But we just talked for 45 minutes about life, business, health, so it was really good. And I see my oncologist on Thursday, but so far so good. I see him again in 3 months. He's happy. he was sort of saying, considering, I just always forget how intense it was, and how intense. Yeah, I forget how intense it was. But he's really happy with my attitude, the progress, the symptoms are all okay, everything seems fine. He said, yeah, he's happy. He's happy with it. Obviously, it's still the recovery process is happening, and I don't feel like I'm at that point where I could go back to the gym or anything. But I might start yoga next week, like a yoga class. I've been doing like at-home yoga, but I might go to a yoga class next week. So that's exciting. I was going to give you a tour of my little Airbnb, but I'm really tired, so I'll do it another day. I saw the oncologist today. So I saw the surgeon on Monday, oncologist today. So it's been a big week for appointments. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. So tired. But he was really happy. My results had come back. The dotate scan, which I was in the hospital for a couple hours a few weeks back, didn't light up. Nothing come up in the scan. So that means they got all of the tumour, which is great. Now they just monitor to make sure it doesn't grow back. And also the wee sample, the test results haven't come back yet, but they're all that. So they're pretty confident that should be all good, which is great. And now I go back and see him in 3 months with another set of bloods. But then from then I don't need a scan for another 12 months, which is such a relief. I'm really, really happy. I feel like I've done a lot of work in the last 3 months since my operation, which is 3 months next week. But just going and seeing different doctors, journaling and writing down all the foods I'm eating, all the research I'm doing, things I'm listening to, books I'm reading. So I feel like I've done a lot of work, and I'm really happy with how it's all panning out now. And I just need to stay on top of this and build on the momentum. So happy days. I'm really happy about it. I feel really good. So I'm really happy. Of course, I'm a fly in, fly out of Sydney gal at the moment, so I still have to come back to Sydney for at least the next 12 months. And yeah, saw my surgeon today, 3-month checkup. And if there's one piece of advice I'd give you when going to see any medical professional, it's just be yourself. Show the quirks. If you're strange, be strange. It's nice to build a bit more trust and a bit of a relationship with the person that's looking after you and that's managing your health. And I find I'm always very open and honest. So I was very open with my surgeon today about life, business, health. But I feel like it really brings in a bit of a bond and trust, and they get to know you more, so they can tailor your needs, based on what you want, what you need, and ask lots of questions. You have to ask the questions because they're there to answer them. So don't be shy. Ask all the questions that you need. The doctor said to get more sun on the scar. Morning. The most incredible thing just happened to me. Of course it did. I'm sitting here. But I was just reading. I was going to do some meditation, and this lady come down the hill, and she's like, "I'm so sorry to interrupt you with your meditation, but can I take some photos of you?" It's just like the most beautiful spot, and the photos look amazing. So she got down, took photos on her iPhone, and emailed them to me. Well, she's going to email them to me. Tried to do the airdrop, but it, for some reason, wasn't working. But I'll have to share them when I get it. But how nice! That's just made my day. Maybe I should hire her to be a content queen photographer. I love that. So you never know who you're going to find when you're just sitting on a rock by the ocean. The past 3 months have been the most challenging. Forget traumatic breakups and childhood bullies. All of these experiences have led me down this path so that I could wake up to the noise and be more aware. This has been a time of battling my own body, not someone else, but myself. Don't feel sorry for me. Take inspiration from me and take action for you. To summarize May, I became more in tune with what I needed. I started to prioritize my health and start asking myself what I want and what do I need. I was setting intentions for myself and investing in me and not just my business, which I did a lot. And I worked on guilt for work, past guilt for my health. And it was really just about connecting back in with myself and starting more of this self-awareness journey. I know there's a lot to go. I know there's a lot for me to learn, and that's why I'm here, to share my self-awareness journey, to help you potentially on your health awareness journey. But what I can say is, honestly, the best thing I did for my self-awareness journey was to stop and listen. I'm a go, go, go type person. So when I actually stopped and absorbed and took it all in, I actually started to notice really what I need. And when people say, just listen to your body, I was always like, how do I even do that? I don't even know what that means. I've learned you just have to stop. Really stop and really take in what your body is telling you. And it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm a very want to know then and there and get it done. But what I've worked out is it's just a journey that we're going to be on for the rest of our lives. And I think that's what takes the pressure off and makes it way more exciting. And I'm here to share that with you and to continue to share that with you.
So the lessons that I really learned in this month was around managing business and health, and how health is so important, and how without it we don't have a business. But it just, because I was starting to get back into the swing of things and, you know, not setting the boundaries that I was when I was in hospital and things like that, it was a really challenging time because I was learning this new me and this new way of life. I learned that everything can wait. It can wait till tomorrow. It absolutely can. Even if you feel really stressed and really worried, it can wait. I learned that worry is the reason for my digestive issues and my stress, and that's something that I really needed to focus on. That was a big one for me. So what I've been doing is just identifying worry, journaling a lot about worry, and trying to do that rewiring of my brain to not let worry get to me. I learned that boundaries are super important. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb now at like a really early hour. I don't reply to business messages after a certain time, but it takes time to get there. I'm still not fully there. I'm still learning the process of boundaries and not being super reactive and replying straight away to things, even with friends, you know, setting that boundary, not answering phone calls straight away if I'm, you know, in the middle of something or just need downtime. I also learned there's always work to be done on yourself. When you think you've gone down, you have to keep going. There's always work to be done. It's not set and forget. Yes, I have a new perspective. Yes, I have this new lease on life is too short, but there's also work to be done. There's still work to be done. I still have more to do. I learned more about listening to yourself and what you actually want, not what you think you want and what you think people want you to want, if that makes sense. So learning to listen to yourself and actually tell yourself what you need. And I thought this was a bit of bullshit because I was like, I know what I need. I do know, but if you actually listen, it's that intuition that I definitely wasn't tapping into enough. I always thought like, I'm doing what I want. This is what I want, but deep down, you don't. And then the last one is you don't need to do it all. You can delegate, you can delete things out of your life, you can work in alignment, whether it's your personal life, your career, your business, you can delegate things. And it is okay to delegate things. I always really struggled to ask people to do things for me because I was like, well, I could just do it. But that's not the point. So definitely delegate where you can, even decisions with things. Like, yep, you decide because I'm not. And that's where the boundaries come up as well. So they're the things I've learned in the last 3 months. I'll definitely do like a 6 monthly review, but it was really interesting to like go through all of my stories and just really reflect. And with anything you've done, always reflect. Even if you feel like you've reflected, reflect more. There's always more reflection to be done. But I hope you enjoyed this sort of 3-part series on it. I've learned so much over these 3 months. I feel really good. Everyone says I look really good, which is amazing feedback, but there's still, I still know that it's still a journey. There's still more to be done on this self-awareness, health journey, and I'm learning every single day.